With the release and new features of Planet Coaster 2, I think what's on everyone's minds right now is a possible sequel to Planet Zoo. Now, Planet Zoo for the past 5 years has been an incredible game. When I first saw the trailer during E3, I was so excited. It seemed like Zoo Tycoon 2 was finally gonna get its sequel. And I'll tell you what, it did not disappoint. Compared to Zoo Tycoon 2, there were so many improvements. The game just felt like a true successor. All the new tools, all the new foliage, the animal models, genetic system, everything just made this game so incredible. However, after about 3,000 hours of playing, this game can get a bit boring. I think it's even more apparent now when we look at games like Planet Coaster 2 and all the stuff that the Planet franchise has now, but I know what you're already thinking. Oh no, we just need birds, we just need fish, dolphins. No, we really don't. Well, we do, but that's not what the video's about today. What's missing, to me at least? Now let's be real, I could talk your ear off like any other YouTuber on this platform, saying how Planet Zoo needs aviaries for free-flying birds, saying how we need aquariums for real fish tanks, how we need modular exhibits. Now, I do think we do need those for Planet Zoo too, but I think everyone and their mother knows that at this point. And I'm not even going to talk much about the additions of a path tool or scaling like we're seeing in Planet Coaster 2. Like, both are incredible, and please go check out the videos by Taji3D detailing how incredibly intricate and complicated, but for the best way possible, this path system can be. That's why I'm not going to be talking about the birds, or the paths, or the scaling at all. I'll probably save it for its own video or something, but to me, that doesn't add gameplay, and that is exactly what Planet Zoo is lacking. Let's imagine for a second, Planet Zoo 2 comes out, and we get 5 million different species of birds. I could build for those birds the exact same way as I can in Planet Zoo. The only issue is, in Planet Zoo 1, it's not functional. However, I could place the same pieces down, and it would make the same exact product. The only difference would be, there'd be a flying bird in one, and there'd be an egg bird in the other. No, what I am talking about is real gameplay, and I know the word is going to sting, but trust me on this, I want gamification in Planet Zoo. Now listen, I've gotten in quite a few keyboard wars with some people on the Planet Zoo subreddit about this, but let's face it, after you play it for a while, Planet Zoo just isn't fun. Now, don't get me wrong, this is indeed my favorite video game of all time at this point. I mean, look how many hours I have here. Do you think a sane person can do this? To me, the gameplay loop of Planet Zoo is exactly where it has its issues, and this goes for franchise mode and challenge mode as well. I'm mostly a sandbox player, but I think a ton of players have the same qualm with the game that I do. This goes for sandbox, this goes for franchise. You start a zoo, you're so excited, you build an entrance, a habitat, you make enough money, then you make another habitat, then you make another bunch of money, then you make another habitat, maybe you do a food court, maybe you do an exhibit hall, and then boom, you have a full-fledged zoo. Well, then what? Well, truth of the matter is, you just look at it. You can't touch, you just look at it. Sure, you can manage the population of your animals, you can manage your facilities, you can make the puppy mill of your dreams just to get that albino tiger or something. Yeah, just mate with your mom. Come on! But at the end of the day, you're just looking at animals walking along on a screen. Say what happens if you don't actually have the drive to build? What happens if you're waiting for like your money to fill up again so you can make a new expansion? You're just sitting there, just waiting. You're not doing anything. You could be looking like on Pinterest at like animal exhibits. You could be looking somewhere else while you wait for that to load, but I don't see that as a valuable gameplay mechanic. I mean, sure, you can delegate time to adding some facilities here and there. You could train or manage your staff zones. You can manage populations but at the end of the day, management is really tedious sometimes. And yes, I know it's a management game, but hear me out. You should be able to do stuff, small stuff, to help pass the time during those phases. I mean, you should be able to play with and enjoy the zoo that you spent so much time making. To me, I love making zoos in my game. I've made over 20 of them, damn it. But the joy of making zoos is squashed when I look at it and I can't do anything with it. I can go into the first person mode, but that's about it. I have a zoom button and WASD, but to me, there is so much that can be done to help this game feel so much more alive by adding just a little bit of gamification. So that's why we're taking a little trip in my time machine today to go back in time to the zoo games of the past and see what they did to make their games fun. Ooh, time machine, wow. Zoo Tycoon 2. Listen, this game had it all. There is a reason why people still cling to this game and refuse to admit that Planet Zoo is better. I mean, this shit had everything, man. The fossil finding minigame where you go around looking for bones to dig up. The game where you took those bones and then puzzled them together and kept on getting more and more complicated. You started to unlock like more complicated skeletons. And then the Dance Dance Revolution that I always failed because I wanted to get that fucking killer penguin. Oh my god, it was so cool! Even Marine Mania let you ride the animals for God's sake, and when you weren't doing that, you could train your dolphins for shows. And most importantly, and I cannot stress this enough, most importantly, the Zookeeper mode where you can literally walk around your zoo, fill up your animal feeders, fill up the dishes, refill the water, groom your animals, and everything else that your lazy staff refuses to do. Oh my god, washing animals, cleaning, water, emptying trash bins, everything. Your keepers weren't doing their job, you can do it for them. And it was fun. You can kick the ball too. Can I emphasize how important that was? You can kick the ball. Time machine, wow. Zoo Tycoon 2013. Okay, I'll let this game acknowledge itself once in a while. But while it was a sick excuse at a cash grab of a once beloved and popular franchise, it did do some stuff right. Listen, I'll keep it quick because I'm allergic to playing this game, but you could play with the animals, you could wash them with the hose, you could ride a buggy in this game, and all that together makes it so fun just to be able to play with friends. Alright, let's move on. It's starting to itch in here. Time machine, time machine, time machine. Rollercoaster Tycoon 3. Yes, it's a damn roller coaster game, but RCT3 Wild had a few tricks up its sleeve. And remind you, this game was made by Frontier Development, same with Zoo Tycoon 2013. Just like that game, there was a little cheat code where you could spawn a drivable buggy, and that was so fun to me as a kid. And even in relation to the animals, there really wasn't much in terms of gameplay for that, but if they ever escaped, you could tranquilize them, and that to me was just, like, it just gave a little bit of an extra little game for me. Time machine, time machine, time machine. So not only with Rollercoaster Tycoon 3, but Jurassic World Evolution 1 and 2 let you do the same exact thing if your animals escaped if they were rampaging. You could hop in your Jeep or helicopter, then take care of the job yourself. Not only that, but you could even go a step further. You could go around in the Jeep, you could fill up the feeders if your park managers weren't doing their job. There's something so familiar about people not doing their jobs in these games. But can I just say one of like the most underappreciated parts of Jurassic World Evolution 2? Is the little photograph mode where, let's just say you're waiting for your game to like, you know, make more money, or you're waiting for a dinosaur to spawn. You could drive around and just take pictures and you get money for it. It's just such a small, unique feature of the game that you don't get from like any other building or management. It's just so different compared to the rest of the gameplay loop that it's just so rewarding to look at your park in a different angle, to look at your animals from a different angle. Time machine, time machine. God, I love time machines. Planet Coaster 1 and Planet Coaster 2. This is where I get angry, guys. Planet Coaster isn't even a damn zoo game, but Frontier knew exactly what they were doing and still refused to bring it to Planet Zoo. I'm gonna introduce you to the Quick Draw Shooting Ride. It is quite literally a free update where they gave us a mini game that we build ourselves. You can set up triggers along like a track ride to be a target aim game. You can go for high scores, and it was all just one ride. This is the ultimate definition of a mini game to me, and that to me is the most incredible part about Planet Coaster. Even beyond that, Planet Coaster knew how fun driving cars can be, and that's why there was a cheat code, once again, to let you drive the go-karts in that game. But that's just the first version of Planet Coaster. Let's look at the second one too, because they have a very cool feature. They actually have a dedicated guest mode that you can pop right into the first person camera, pop into the guest view. You can hit some keys to crouch. You can even jump in it. You can go in your pools and the water kind of levels you out wherever the water level is. But the best part about this, you don't need to leave this camera mode to get the most out of your experience. You can walk up to a ride, click the mouse, hop on a train if it pulls into the station, takes you on a ride, you exit, and then you exit actually at the exit. You don't exit the camera mode. You can continuously view a park within the guest mode without needing to get out of it. So you can get a completely first-person experience. This completely turns the game around to me. You no longer need to like ruin your immersion by popping out of that guest view into the management view. You can get a 100% park experience just in one camera mode alone. You can download any map from the workshop. You can view it entirely in the guest mode, and you don't even need to view it from the top down at all. To me, that is just something that is so welcome. Time machine, time machine, time machine, time machine. All right, back to the present. Planet Coaster 2 has released. Planet Zoo has another DLC on the way. This is crazy. This is going to be my never-ending nightmare. But yeah, Planet Zoo 2. Can we talk about what would make this game fun? Because yes, to me, I am very excited for the fact that we could be getting free-flying birds. We could be getting fish, modular exhibits. We could be getting scaling and that really awesome path tool. But at the end of the day, if it's just more Planet Zoo, I'm going to be a little bit worried. So let's talk about it. How can we improve the Planet Zoo experience? Well, how about an expanded guest mode where we can walk around our parks, we could go up to kind of habitats and stuff like that. And what I had the really fun idea for was a animal highlights from an education board. This is so minor. This is just so minor, but it would just add that extra bit of, oh my gosh, I'm actually at a zoo and I'm viewing animals. Hear me out. This would affect guest mode a little bit. Imagine a facility item like the education board that we have, that if you walk up to it in guest mode, you hit spacebar, it highlights the animal that it references with a sort of glowing outline based on wherever they are in a habitat. You can link them up to like the closest habitat, then link those up with the species that it highlights, and walk up to it and interact with it. Hell, I don't know. I just think that that would be such a really wonderful way to integrate the education board, because personally, I don't use them in my sandbox zoos. I find them ugly, but if we had a way to make them a lot more interactive, had a way to give them purpose other than giving, 5 extra points to education, yes, 5 million social credits, that to me would just be so welcomed. And again, talking a lot about that Planet Coaster 2 feature as well, if we could go up to, say, a transport ride like one of the Jeeps or something like that, hop in and then just hop out and not have to go back up to like, a grand overview camera, that would be fantastic too. But I think you guys already know how I feel about carts and buggies. Now listen, would it provide anything useful? No, it would not. But to me, that's like the best game features ever. I don't know, I just find it so charming. To me, this is a feature that instantly approves a game. I mean, it's the only reason why Zoo Tycoon 2013 was on this list to begin with. But this does have precedent in real zoos. It's something that you can see keepers or managers, if they need to get from point A to point B, even if it just is a little feature that the player themselves can only access, I think it would be so important. Now, I did mention a Zookeeper mode from Zoo Tycoon 2, and we'll get into that in just a little bit, but I think that this would insanely help that experience, which we're going to talk about right now. A Zookeeper mode. Oh my god, I cannot stress this enough. This is what we need. It is not Planet Zoo Builder, it is Planet Zoo. We need to get every single aspect of it. It's easily my biggest want I could ever have for this. Like, I don't know, I can plan a zoo just fine. I can build it just fine. But beyond that, I can only walk around it? That's it? That's where the bill stops? To me, I want to be a bigger part of my own zoo. I want to be able to do the jobs that the keepers should be doing. I want to be disposing of the trash, picking up the poop, grooming the animals, or even feeding them. I want to be able to do all of these things, and like I mentioned before, we could see a little bit of it in Planet Coaster 2, but I want to push it even more. To me, being part of your park is really more important than making it. I see some posts on Reddit even recently about someone not really feeling a bond with their own zoo, and I do feel that too. I love all of my projects in Planet Zoo, Boggy Bottom, Wild Woods, I'll tell you what, even Zoo Sarasota. But sometimes I feel like they are completely separate from me. I wish I could interact with the animals like I own them or something, but unfortunately, as it stands, they're always just going to be one step away until a real Zookeeper mode can be established. Even if these animals escape, I'm not able to tranquilize them myself. I gotta hit a button that costs $1,000. Can you fucking believe that? So yeah, I just think that this would add so much to the game, and if you do allow me the chance to tranquilize them, that would be really awesome so I can make a fake hunting mode. Thank you. Okay, my last idea, I swear. This came out of complete nowhere for me, but I love the idea of this. So, you guys probably know about Pesto. You know about Fiona, Harambe, Mudang, even that Haggis guy, whatever. I think it would be a really fun feature for Planet Zoo 2 to cash on, combining the elements of a photography mechanic and the rewards of the Jurassic World Evolution 2 one. So, hear me out. Instead of direct money, it would influence popularity points or even followers on a fake social media in-game, so that you can go around your park taking pictures. Let's just say, for example, you're walking around and you see a baby animal that was just born. That would have a high amount of points compared to, say, an adult animal with a complete random chance for it to go viral. Even beyond that, wouldn't it be fun to have random animals trending from around the world? Like, you know how right now Mudang is popular, and then Pygmy Hippo posts are quite literally popping up every single place that you see it? Imagine if that were the case in game, where it was like a recent explosion of popularity from name the species has been taking storm on social media. So say, for example, from Kabu, the lion, has been taking storm on social media, and then that would encourage you to get specific animals for your zoo. Say you don't have a lion at that point, but you're like, oh, if I get a lion, I'm gonna get so many more guests in my park because of this stupid social media lion that's blowing up on Twitter or something. I don't know. I feel like that's just a tiny mechanic that sounds a lot more worse than it actually is, but to me, I think that is part of the fun of kind of giving your player a chance to interact with the game in a way that they typically wouldn't interact. Like that photography mode where it's like, oh, you can actually score a bunch of dollars from this. That is quite awesome. But even a Zookeeper mode where it's like your keepers are way too slow for your liking, so you pop into the game and do it yourself. That, to me, that's just important. I don't know. And we're reaching the point in the video where I have run out of script. So I'm kind of just going to go ahead and yap Xiao Hang Shu, and just kind of talk about what I really want out of this. But yeah, to me, Planet Zoo right now, as it stands, it's a great game. It is a fantastic game. There's a reason why my entire channel is kind of based around it and not other games. It's because I have had so much fun making parks, not only for myself, but for you guys to see, playing this game in different ways, playing franchise mode, sandbox mode, challenge mode, all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I appreciate this game so much, to the point where I can look at it and I could say, this game is great, but here's where it falls short. And where it falls short is the fact that it doesn't really have too many fun gameplay elements. That's honestly, this is the social media critiquing of me coming out. That's why you see so many more kind of speed builds on YouTube than you do of people actually interacting with their parks. I don't know, I'm very envious of ZSH Plays, I hope I pronounced that right, of how he's able to interact with all of his parks. Belmont Zoo, for example. That to me is just incredible. But then, I don't know, I don't really have that same drive to, because I've done that song and dance, and it really, I just feel so distant from whatever zoo I make, even if I build it from the ground up, that I think that adding these little gameplay elements would go such a long way. But I'm so curious to hear what you all have to say, obviously. This is been quite a long while in the making kind of video. I've been trying to find the right words and like right references to kind of put this together. So I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say. I mentioned this on our stream the other day and so many people got angry with me. So I'm curious to see how many people are going to get angry with me today for my opinions. But yeah, that's really all I want to talk about today. I'll talk about like the future of Planet Zoo 2, where we kind of talk about what animals would be in the base game, or what DLCs we could get, what new features we could get that don't really concern gameplay or whatever. But yeah, we'll talk about that in the future. Let me know in the comments, please. Go start typing right now if you didn't already. Leave an angry message like in the first 5 minutes of the video. But yeah, that's really it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you guys did enjoy this little kind of introspective, if you guys did think I had some good ideas, I am always encouraging more members to join the Leaf Pile. It's just completely free. You just hit that red button down there. Subscribe. You see I made it kind of glow up different colors if it works on your platform, I guess. But yeah, I'm very thankful for the growth we've had as of late. I'm very thankful for being able to interact with you guys in the comments and stuff like that. It's really awesome, especially as we kind of enter a new age where I really want to do a lot more live streams. It's so fun to talk with you guys live. But that's really it. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. And we'll see you all in the next video. Take care and bye-bye.